Hello, my loves. So, I'm doing tonight's scary story on Krampus. I wanted to keep it kind of Christmassy, but also forever horror. You know what I mean? Krampus was a folklore that was originated in Germany or Austria. The Krampus is a horned anthropomorphic figure in the central and eastern alpine folklore of Europe who during the Advent season scares the shit out of children who have misbehaved. Assisting St. Nicholas or Santa Claus, the pair visit children on the night of December 5th, with St. Nicholas rewarding the well behaved children with gifts such as oranges, dried fruit, walnuts, and chocolate, while the badly behaved ones only receive punishment from Krampus with birch rods, literally switches from a birch tree. Yeah, they get it. The origin of the figure is unclear. Some folklorists and anthropologists have postulated that it may have pre-Christian origins. In tradition, parades and in such events as the Kramp, Krampushof, yeah, I don't know what the hell that is. Krampus Run is what it comes to down, in English. Young men dressed as Krampus attempt to scare the shit out of the audience with their antics. Such events occur annually in most alpine towns. Krampus is featured on holiday greeting cards called Krampuskarten. The figure has been imported into American popular culture and has appeared in movies, TVs, and games, and lots of other genres. Krampus is thought to come from either Bavarian Krampen, meaning dead, rotten, or from the German Krampen, meaning claw. The Krampus is considered to be half goat, half demon monster in some legends. Its role is to punish bad children or scare them into being good. Seems a bit much, but sometimes it works. The history of the Krampus figure has been theorized as stretching back to pre-Christian Alpine traditions, with celebrations involving Krampus dating back to the 6th or 7th century AD, though there are no written sources before the end of the 16th century. Discussing his observations in 1975 while in Erding, a small town in Styria, anthropologist John Honigman, that is quite the mouthful, wrote that the St. Nicholas festival we are describing incorporates cultural elements widely distributed in Europe, in some cases going back to pre-Christian times. Nicholas himself became popular in Germany around the 11th century. The feast dedicated to this patron of children is only one winter occasion in which children are the objects of special attention, others being Martinmas, the Feast of the Holy Innocents, and New Year's Day. Masked devils acting crazy and making nuisances of themselves are known in Germany since at least the 16th century, while animal masked devils combining dreadful comic antics appeared in medieval church plays. What a sight it was to see. Scared the shit out of a lot of people. I would have loved to have been there. No, not really. I'm glad I'm here. A large literature, much of by European folklorists, bears on these subjects. Austrians in the community we studied are quite aware of heathen elements being blended with Christian elements in the St. Nicholas customs and in other traditional winter ceremonies. They believe Krampus derives from a pagan supernatural who was assimilated to the Christian devil. I did a little further research, and it was said that Krampus is basically like the flip-flop of Saint Nicholas or Santa Claus. But he's the bad version. He's the devil version of Santa Claus, Krampus. Yeah. He's quite a sight to see if you've seen, any of the movies or stories, any of it. The Krampus figures persisted, and by the 17th century, Krampus had been incorporated into Christian winter celebrations by pairing Krampus with Santa Claus. So there's good and there's bad. In the aftermath of the 1932 election in Austria, the Krampus tradition was prohibited by the Dollfuss regime under the clerical Fatherland Front and the Christian Social Party, because usually Christians don't want us to have any fun at all. I am a Christian, but it's kind of true. In the 1950s, the government distributed pamphlets titled Krampus is an Evil Man, for fear that encounters with Krampus might damage children's mental health, which it did scare the hell out of a lot of little kids, but a lot of little kids behaved themselves very well because they knew about Krampus. It was like a win-win, kind of win-lose, pick your battle. I don't know. The Krampus tradition is being revived in Bavaria as well, along with a local artistic tradition of hand-carved wooden masks. In 2019, there were reports of drunken or disorderly conduct by masked Krampuses in some Austrian towns. How fun would that be? Just to get schnockered and put on a Krampus mask? Scare the hell out of people? Ah, 'tis the season. Krampus carries chains thought to symbolize the binding of the devil by the Christian church. He thrashes the chains for dramatic effect. The chains are sometimes accompanied with bells of various sizes. Of more pagan origins, it's the root, a bundle of birch branches that Krampus carries and with which he occasionally swats children on the behind. The root may have had significance in pre-Christian pagan initiation rites. The birch branches are replaced with a whip in some representations. Sometimes Krampus appears with a sack or a basket strapped to his back. This is to cart off evil children for drowning. Eating or transport to hell. Some of the older versions make mention of naughty children being put in the bag and taken away forever. Now that part is truly, truly scary. This quality can be found in other companions of St. Nicholas, also known as Santa Claus. The feast of St. Nicholas is celebrated in parts of Europe on the 6th of December, or the 25th in America. On the preceding evening of the 5th of December, Krampus night or Krampus Nacht, the wicked, hairy devil appears on the streets, sometimes accompanied by Santa Claus, and sometimes on his own. Krampus visits homes and businesses. The saint usually appears in the Eastern rite vestments of a bishop, and he carries a golden ceremonial staff. Unlike Northern American versions of Santa Claus, in these celebrations, St. Nicholas concerns himself only with the good children, while Krampus is responsible for the bad. Nicholas dispenses gifts, while Krampus supplies coals and root. A seasonal play that spread through the Alpine regions, which was known as Nikolaspil, that was hard to say, also known as Nicholas Play, inspired by Paradise plays, which focused on Adam and Eve's encounter with the tempter. The Nicholas plays featured competition for the human souls and played on the question of morality. In these Nicholas plays, St. Nicholas would reward children for scholarly efforts rather than for good behavior. That is a theme that grew in Alpine regions where the Roman Catholic Church had significant influence. There were already established pagan traditions in the Alpine regions that became intertwined with Catholicism. People would masquerade as a devilish figure known as Perched. I'll tell you about her next week, Fru Perched, a two-legged humanoid goat with a giraffe-like neck wearing animal furs. People wore costumes and marched in processions known as Perchtenlaufen, which are regarded as an earlier form of the Krampus runs. They were looked at with suspicion by the Catholic Church, of course, and banned by some civil authorities. Due to sparse population and rugged environments with the Alpine region, the ban was not effective or easily enforced, rendering the ban useless. Eventually, the Perchtenlof, inspired by the Nicholas plays that were earlier mentioned, introduced Santa Claus and his set of good morals. The Perch transformed into what is known as the Krampus and was made to be subjected to St. Nicholas's will. It is customary to offer a Krampus schnapps, a strong distilled fruit brandy. These runs may include Perchten, similarly wild pagan spirits of Germanic folklore, and sometimes female in representation, although the Perchten are properly associated with the period between winter solstice and the 6th of January. Krampus appears in the folklore of Austria, Bavaria, Bosnia, Czechoslovakia, the Republic, Hungary, God, that's hard for me to say, Romania, Northern Italy, and Slovenia. In Styria, the root is presented by a Krampus to families. The twigs are painted gold and displayed year-round in the house, a reminder to any children who has temporarily forgotten Krampus. In smaller, more isolated villages, the figure has other beastly companions, such as an antlered wild man, figures, and St. Nicholas is nowhere to be seen. These Styrian companions of Krampus are called, I'm not going to get this word right, we're just going to call it a Rahun. A toned-down version of Krampus is part of the popular Christmas markets in Austrian urban centers like Salzburg. In these more tourist-friendly interpretations, Krampus is more humorous than fearsome. And that's kind of how they've been making him nowadays in the movies. He is, I mean, it's still a horror movie if you've seen the Krampus movies. It's very much horror related, but it's like a cheesy horror film. So there is some comedy, and that's the stuff that we like. Because Krampus, by himself, without the comedy, is truly, truly, truly fucking scary. He is very scary. Go ahead, look him up. Look up the pictures. In many parts of Bosnia and Croatia, Krampus is described as a devil wearing a cloth sack around his waist and chains around his neck, ankles, and wrists as a part of a tradition. When a child receives a gift from St. Nicholas, he is given a golden branch to represent his good deeds throughout the year. However, if the child has misbehaved, Krampus will take the gifts for himself and leave only a silver branch to represent that the child had bad acts. So yeah, every year there are arguments during Krampus runs. Occasionally spectators take revenge for whippings and attack Krampuses. In 2013, after several Krampus runs in East Tyrol, a total of 8 injured people, mostly with broken bones, were admitted to Leon's district hospital, and over 60 other patients were treated on outpatient basis, which I'm guessing they were scared shitless and had to do a little bit of mental health revival. Yeah. So, I don't know how you feel about Krampus. You gotta watch the movies, you gotta read a little bit about the folklore in order to understand the whole thing. Like I said, basically, I read a lot of the back or the origins of it, and basically, Krampus is the evil version, the evil brother of Santa Claus, St. Nicholas. So, Klaus means claw, German. Krampus means claw in German. So, yeah, Santa Claus is good. Look at him. He's perfectly plump and pleasant, and we love him. And Krampus, well, the only time you really have to deal with him is if you are very, very naughty. Then you deal with Krampus. Otherwise, you get Santa Claus and you get lots of presents. So, just behave. Everything will work out. Or will it? I don't know. You have to do some more digging if you want some more of that. This episode was just all Krampus based. I'm hoping to do at least one more before Christmas. As always, I will post my website link into the description of the video. And go ahead and take a look at my merch. I got some spooky stuff. I got some funny stuff. We got hoodies, t-shirts, stickers, posters. I even do some modeling. I am a lingerie model, so I do, some sexier type stuff. If you like that, I have posters. There's tumblers with my Amber Ray logo, because I'm also a singer and a songwriter and soon an actress. I'm actually going to be acting in a movie called Vampires. I took a role and I am a new age vampire in the movie whose name is Valentina. And so I'm super excited to play this because I play vampire or witch very, very well. There's a reason for that. I can't tell. No, I'm just kidding. I'm working on it, and we're hoping that it's going to be released in 2024. So, yeah, lots of good things to look forward to. I'm hoping to see you guys in a few days and at least have a short horror story for you. So, yeah, at least one, maybe possibly two more before Christmas. Yeah. Anyways, take a look at the website. Let me know how you like it. Let me know how you like the story. If you have any ideas for more Christmas horror stories, please let me know in the comments. I absolutely love the Christmas horror, especially around Christmas. It's just, I don't know, it gets me in the mood for Christmas sometimes more than, Frosty or Rudolph does. Although I did watch those the other day. They're classics. Gotta watch it. Yeah. Anyways, it's Sunday, start of a new week. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you in a few days. Love you.